Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And hi to our beloved lecturer, Dr. Ahmad Shukri bin Muhammad Nur. So, I am Nurul Huda. Today, my teammates, Putri Nur Amira binti Suhaimi, Badrul Bashar Ahmad bin Rinato, and I, Nurul Huda binti Ahmad Tajuddin, will present to you about our group project, which is Gagak Cybercafe Management System. Okay, so firstly, executive summary. So, what is the executive summary of Cybercafe Management System?
Cybercafe management system is a system that can help a cybercafe to manage the PCs and provide for customers to book a room. This system is special because it is not only be used to book a room, but it is flexible enough to be used to manage the details of the reserved room, management room, operating system, and software used in each room. Most of the cybercafe experience similar problems in managing room, keeps a paper book to keep track of user details. So we propose a solution to this issue by developing a system that will help them to organize Cybercave by providing an application that can keep track all the details from customers and computing the bill automatically.
So, the introduction of Cybercafe Management System is
For introduction, a cybercafe ordinarily has some number of PCs which the customers will use for a certain amount of time. Nowadays, it could additionally require to save some details of the customers for security reasons. Once a customer enters a cybercafe, he has to be assigned a PC and the beginning time is known. At any time, the cyber administrator should be ready to see the status of any PC once the customer desires to do some other activities like taking a printout or scan a copy and many more. It should be recorded and finally all the details can be accessible to the administrator of the cybercave. He will submit the form in order to generate the bill. There should be displays all of all the transactions taking place in the cave.
so there must be a reason why Cybercafe organized management system. In these slides, we will figure out the statement of problems faced at the Cybercafe.
In the present scenario, the cybercave owner typically keeps a paper book to keep track of user details. Manual process of data is forever time-consuming and may lead to a lot of errors. There is a lot of issues in allocating cabins to the users. Further reference to the user details is really time-consuming. Accuracy of such data makes the system unreliable and inefficient, in which clearly there would be an efficient system needed. The proposed system rectifies the demerits and defects of the existing system to a bigger extent.
What are the objectives? So there are three objectives given. Firstly, it is to manage the details of reserved room, management room, unbooked room, capacity of each room, operating system, and software used in each room. Secondly, altogether designed and administrative and thus only the administrator is guaranteed the access. So thirdly, which is also the last one, it is to build an application program to reduce the manual work for managing the charges and customers. These are the proposed solution. So Cybercafe management system was developed to book a computer table for personal use. It is installed in the server computer only. So users have to enter the details of computer desk they want to reserve for. So the features are they can book a computer desk or just cancel the booking when they want. So user can simply book the computer desk whereby they can choose the amount of time they want to be in the cyber cafe or select the type of computer service they want and also the type of Windows operating system they want to use. Next, I will be presenting on about flowchart of Cybercafe management system. So start. Then the main page of Cybercafe management system will be displayed. The user will be prompted to select management of Cybercafe. There are three of options they can select, which are book a room, view reserved rooms, and manage rooms. So for the book a room option, there are three options given in it. So they are select show all rooms option, select filter rooms option, and select room name option. So when they select the show all rooms option, the system will display all rooms. Then when select the filter rooms option, they need to enter the capacity, operating system, software, time, and date. So the system will read them, and yeah, and they will display the filtered rooms. So next, for the third option in this management, book and room management, when they select the room name option, they need to enter the faculty, subject, time, and date. So the system will read four of them, and then the reserved rooms will be displayed. So next, view reserved room, view reserved view reserved rooms. So for the first one, they will display the unbooked rooms. Then they are and then they can select the filter rooms option, select the show all rooms option, select book a room option. So when they select the filter rooms option, they need to enter the time and date. When they select the show all rooms option, the system will display all rooms. And when they select the book a room option, the system will display the unreserved rooms. So next, they need to select the reserved room option to uh, to make a reservation. So they need to enter the faculty, subject, time, and date. So the system will read four of them, and they will display the room has been successfully reserved on the given date and time. So end. So for the third option in this management system of Cybercafe, so they can select add a new room option or select the delete room option. So there are two of them. So when they select add a new room option, they need to enter the room name, capacity, operating system, and software. So the system will read them. And next, the system will display the room has been successfully added. So when they select the delete room option, they need to select the room name in which room that they want to delete. So next, the system will so when they have selected the room name they want to delete, so the system will display, are you sure you want to delete the selected items? There will be three options: yes, no, or cancel. So that's it for the manage rooms management. So, what can be concluded in Cybercafe management system? All in all, few eye-catching developments of the system of Cybercafe management are its simplicity and user-friendly interface. The system has been developed to manage the whole working of the Cybercafe. The system simplifies and replaces the entire manual effort and also the paperwork done by the owner of the Cybercafe to a completely electronically environment, be it bill generation or customer creation and fulfillment of their needs and satisfaction of the customers. Thus, both the customers and owner, which are actually the user at the cafe, are at their ease. The customer is serviced at his footsteps, whereby he just types in the request. He is simply a click away.
Next is the program source code. First, add a room source code. So this is the source code of add a room. Firstly, we declare the import statement. We use four import statement. and then we declare the public class as dialog at room. And then we use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We use 5 private segment, and we declare another public and in public class. So in public dialog at room, we use to form the user interface design. And then from line this dot set location relative to until this dot add room name text field, we want to show the window in the center. And then from line J label capacity label until this dot add new J panel, we want set the controls for filtering rooms. And from J button save button until in the next page, in the next slide, we want to create the button for save the program or save the progress of user choices. So after user click the save button, we will check either user enter the input or not. If user enters nothing, we will show the error message, and if the user enter an input, so we will check if the room is unique or not, and then we will search the room name, it is the same name room or not. If the name of the room, which is the user input, is the same with the name of room which is available, we will display the error message. And then we will check the capacity is it a number or not. If it is a number, we will convert everything to integer data type, and we will create a room. After we create the room, we will add the new room to the list and display the information message. After that, if the capacity which is entered by user is an alphabet, not a number, which is not an integer data type, we will show the error message. We will show the error message to tell the user they entered is wrong. And then book a room source code. For this section, we declare 5 import statements, and we name the public class as dialog book a room. We use 2 private segments, and in public class we declare another public, which is dialog book a room, and this is item we need for booking room, which is the main interface design for book a room. So in this section, in this slide, the program will create a menu bar to be placed on the top, which is from the first line and the second line. And then the next line until toolbar.explorator, the program will create a button for managing the rooms. From line J button show all rooms until toolbar.add show all rooms button, program will create a button for showing all rooms. And the next section is to create a button that will filter the rooms. And then this rooms table line, the program will create a table where the rooms are going to be displayed. And we set the program to create a scroll pane where to put the table and initialize the room. After that, we create another void function for show rooms. We want to remove all items from the table, and the program will display the unreserved rooms for a particular time into the table, and we check the availability of the components in the room. For this section, we use the if single selection. And then we create the void function. We name it as filter rooms button. We want to show the window for filtering, and then we will check if filter room button was clicked by user or not. And if it was clicked by user, we will start filtering and clear clear first the content of the table. And the program will copy all rooms as possible search room and check if there is a specific number of capacity. If yes, we will filter the search room by removing the capacity does not fit and remove the room from the search room. And then we check if user want a specific operating system to choose from. If yes, we will check either user want XP operating system or Vista operating system. In this section, we use if else selection. After check specific operating system, we check if user want a specific software to choose from. If yes, we we will uh, we will show either user want C++ or NetBeans software to use. After that, we will check again. We will check if user want a specific time and date. If yes, we will get program. We get all rooms that are available on the specific date, which is nobody reserved. So the program will display the available time for the selected date and check either the room are available at the selected date or not. And user will get the reservation if the room is available. And then the source code in this slide, we will check if the reservation hits the same date or not. Second, the program will check the reservation from 8 to 12 if everything occupied. And we will check if the room is available at 8 at the given date. So the source code in this slide, we want program to check if the reservation hits the same date or not, and if there's reservation from 8 to 12 if everything occupied, and we want the program to display the final result of the search room. And the program will check the availability of the components in the room that has been searched. And we declare the void function. We name it as reserve selected room. So we want the program to check if there are rows in the table are selected. And last but not least, this source code in this slide, we want the program to find the room name in the list of the rooms. Next is the source code for filter reserved room. So this is the beginning of source code for filter reserved room. First thing first, we declare the for import statement and we use public class and name it as dialog filter reserve. So as usual, this source code, this part, we want to create user interface design. And then we want to show the window in the center and set the controls for filtering room, and we label it as time. After that, we want to get the current day, month and year from the system, and we will display the current date in the interface design. So this is the source code to calculate the current date and current month and current year. So at the top of the source code, which is from string years until this the add filter button, basically we want the program to compute for the year and align the filter button properly and create the filter button. And then we want to close the filter dialog. So we identify that filter button was clicked by user. Next is source code for filter rooms. For this part, we declare 4 import statements and we use public class and name it as dialog filter. So first thing first, we initialize the dialog filter and name it as dialog filter. So we in this section we want to create user interface design. Uh, Same as previous, at this session we want to create the user interface design and we set the controls for filtering rooms, which is the capacity, the operating system and the operating system choices, and software that user want to use, and software choices. And at this section we want to create the box choices for the time and for the current for the date, and then we want to create a checkbox to ignore date or not, which is user will choose either they want to ignore the date or not. And then we want to program to get the current day, month and year. After the program receives the user input, the program will compute for the months and compute for the days for the month. And finally, the program will compute for the year. And after that, this program will add an extra space to the grid to align the button and create the filter button. And then we create void function and name it as checkbox clicked. So we will receive another user input. Either they click the box to enable or disable of the functionality of the date. And for the void function below, we name it as button click. We want that program in that function. We want program to process all the filter dialog. And if the user input is not a number, integer data type, so the program will display the error message, which is the capacity should be a number. Next, the source code for managed room. So, first thing first, we declare the import statement. In this section, we use 5 import statement, and the public class we name it as dialog managed room. Also, in this section, we want to create the user interface design. Same at this section, we want to create the user interface design and create a button for adding a new room and create a delete for deleting a room. So after that we want create a table where the rooms are going to be displayed, which is the new rooms, the list of the room, and the scroll pen where to put the table. And then in this section of source code, we want to display all the rooms. After that, in the void function, which is we name it as add new room button click, we want to show the window for adding a new room and refresh the table by using line this dot show all rooms. For void function, which is delete room clicked, we want the program deletes the selected room. Before the program delete the selected room, which is select by user, we will display a message to ask confirmation for the deletion. And if user click no, so the program do not continue the delete of the room. And if it is a yes, and the room will be deleted. Next, reserve a room source code. As usual, first thing we declare the 4 import statement for this source code, and we create public class and name it as dialog reserve. As usual, at the first session of any source code, we want to create the user interface design. So this is another section which is to create user interface design. So at this section, we will display the time, the date, and we will get the current date for the program and compute for the months. And how many strings will be created is determined by program. And then for this session, the program will compute the days for the month and compute the days for the month and for the year. So at this source code in this slide, the program will add an extra space to the grid to align the filter button properly and create the filter button and show the screen on the center. So, and then we create a private void function and name it as user button click. So in that source code, we will check either the button is clicked by user or not. After that, we will check either the faculty name and subject are entered by user or not. If not, we will display the error message to tell the user to provide a faculty name and subject. And we will look for the room in the rooms given the room name, which is will be supplied by user. And if we found the room, so we break out of the loop. And if user want to reserve the rooms, so the program will check if the reservation hits the same date or not. And then the program will check if the reservation from 8 to 12 if everything occupied. And if all the time are taken this room is invalid, the program will show message and the error message which will tell the customer, the user, the time and date they have chosen have been reserved by someone else. Then the source code for reserve room, as usual, we declare the import statement and public class, and we want to initialize the default of the dialog for user interface design. And we plot any section. We want to create user interface design. As usual, we want to display the date and time and the current date. And in this slide, in this source code, we want the program to remove the selected row and check if they are selected rows or not. And we will confirm if the user want to reconfirmation of user, either they want to unbook a room or not. And if the room is unbooked, so row line is reduced by 1. And as usual, at the top of the source code, the program will add an extra grid and create the filter button and show the screen on the center. So at the bottom, the program will check either user click the button or not. So for void function, which is we name it as show or move, the program will remove all the items from the table if user click the button earlier, and then display all the reservation dates in the table for each room to get reservation, and to display all the details of reservation. And for this void function, the program will show the window for filtering and check if the filter button was clicked or not. If yes, the program will start filtering and clear first the content of the table. And then the program will display all the reservation dates in a table, and for each room get the reservation and display all the details. And in this void function, we want the program to show the reserve a room window. Main main program source code. So first we declare the import statement, and then we declare the public class as main, which is this will be the main coding of the program. So first we initialize the main window. As usual, we want to create the user interface design. Same this code for user interface design, and then each void function is for shows the window for booking, uh, for the book rooms, for managing rooms, which is every void in this slide want to create another user interface design, I mean another page for each part. And this void function, which is window operand open, we want the program to load all rooms and data from a text file. And when the file cannot be loaded, we load the default values and create 5 temporary rooms. And this is where we create the temporary room for room 3, room 4, and room 5. And then in this section, in this public void function, we want to save all rooms and data to a text file. And at the bottom, we want the program to unuse Windows events. And this is the source code for entry point of the program, and set the UI as for Windows UI, and set and start the main window. Next, reservation code source code. In this source code, in this reservation source code, we want to display the time to be used and the date to be used. So we declare one import statement, and we declare public class as reservation. So at the top, we initialize the public reservation, and the parameter is faculty name, subject, time, and date. At the below, we will get the methods. Also, this one we want to get the methods. Next is room. So for room source code, we declare two input statements, and we declare the public class as room. First thing first, we initialize the attributes of the room, and in this source code, we want to get the number of computer stock. So at the top, the void function, which is add reservation, we want to return the result of adding a reservation. And void set capacity and so on, we want to set the methods. Also, this source code, we want to set the methods and set the method source code continue. The next is manual, user manual. So this is a manual which is user want to book a room. As you can see in this video, it will show 3 different buttons, and user will click the reserve room, and as you can see the unbooked room, and they can filter rooms which is has been reserved or not. If not, they can make a reservation, which is they need to enter the faculty name, the subject, uh, time they want to use, and time they want to reserve, and the date. After that, user will click the reserve button. So we will display the message, which is the reservation is successfully made, and they will check the list.
So that's all from us. Thank you and have a nice day.